Yeah, it's Patrick again. Just wanted to show you something because I got recently a couple of questions on where CSB stores tables and data and stuff like that, and how that is being managed, especially under databases. This is like a quick one on that. Um, the easiest way to find out what table it is actually via the list programs, because list programs always list the data, from certain tables. So in this instance, I am in Address Master. I have that lookup list going here, and if I go into info about program, I can actually see that this program is SL, system list 010, and that means actually table 10 is the one responsible showing me here the addresses. And and all tables in CSB, CSB programs talk to a central resource in CSB, which is program 931. 931 is, what we call system tables. It's a resource dictionary that actually describes how we store information inside a database. So it comes with a name, SY0010, and then underscore, and there are like variables. So in this case, like 3Fs. And these 3Fs in this instance are replaced with company. So company is in this instance company dependent. So for company 1 that I'm in, that number would be 001. If I would be in company 2, it would be 002. If that setting would be set to company independent, which may be the case in your instance, that number would be 000. So here's basically where you can see what the table number is. And from here, you can as well look directly into the database via the statistics button and see like what tables are right now in the database. And there is a table SY0010 underscore 001. These tables have at the end something else. They have at the end an owner that we still have from our older database that stems from pervasive times. That is in this case 11, and this 11 is actually here on the owner release, indicating what release that table has. That is now changing a little bit under databases because we also store releases inside the data themselves. The next step, databases, is not important anymore when you run on databases. And finally, what is important is the table specification. And the table specification gives us then key information about what is inside that table. So when I hit here view, I can see all the field names that are physically in the table next to the English translation of that table. And that is actually matching what we would see inside the database. So there would be a table SY 0010. Let me see if we can see that here in a minute. CSB demo tables. SY 010, there it is. There's that table, right? Here are the columns identically to the columns that you see here. The same thing. And from here, you can, of course, then inside the database see the data that is related, that is here stored in my database. And here you see actually this release number. So that release number is actually now under databases came in addition. So when we actually change tables, we are not changing the owners anymore. We do an alter table, adapt the table, and that number actually indicates when that record was stored, what that release of the table was. But that is not important. Important is that you can see what these physical field descriptions are and what their English meaning is. But there's more. So when you hit, for example, F7 mode, you get actually more detailed information on what that is. So there are different information about key structures. I show like another table, but here, for example, is a field called S10 etiquette, which is actually a label indicating whether we print labels for that item, and that can actually have a 0, and that means a label, no label is printed, or 1 label is printed, right? Or there are the flags, the releases that come from sales, whether that is a sales item or not, right? So here's, for example, then the item picking code, and there are like different other flags that you can actually see. And at the bottom of this entire story here, when you go to the very end, you can actually see the key structure. So there is a key, for example, number 0, that is actually just based on the address number. Then there is a key that is via the search term bringing up the address number. And then there's one via the headquarter bringing up the address number. And then, other indices. So that give quick access. So whenever you use those index fields in your queries run comparatively fast. Let me give you another example. When we look at, let's say, 78, do the view, F7, same thing. This is order header data. So in this case, there's a field called Auftragstyp, which means actually is a code for order type. And if that has a value of 0, it's an offer. If it has a value of 1, standing order, and so on and so forth, right? Or the order status. So there is actually then further down here in the list somewhere there is a field order status. I probably went by it already. Yeah. Here's a field for the order status. And that order status field can have also multiple meanings. 20, for example, would mean orders. 40 means open deliveries. That is actually also important information when you use CSB, because when you, for example, are in an order list and you hit F7 and look at the order data, you would actually find the status information listed here. And that is, sometimes for people not really meaningful to see, like, what does that 20 and what does that 40 mean, and that order form number, and so on and so forth. You can actually look that up in 931, and find out. It gives you the detailed information on what that is, right? And here again, SL078, the table number. One thing we recently added, and that is actually a new product because we are actually approaching more management reporting, is in the table specification are relations. And relations actually indicate me now inside the database what all tables are that are related to my 78 table. So I can actually see here the individual relations, and can actually drill into the other tables and can see what the information is that we are actually looking at, and what other table I might need to look at. So this is actually still like in development. It is a new product, and from here you can actually also straight execute some SQL to look into the data, into the tables as it is needed. So for example, you can see here, for example, is a table FA04047 or something, or there is that table, oh, that looks interesting, SL FA0077 underscore 01. So you should actually be able to say like a select star, let's say everything from FA0077 underscore 00112, and we will should get like a result here, and can actually look inside that table while I'm here in that database explorer. So that is how you basically can investigate the table structure and the data structure within CSB. And I hope that is a little helpful for you guys, and hope to talk to you and soon again. Thank you very much, and take good care.